Question number 1 asks, the passage suggests that an important factor in making skyscrapers possible in the late 1800s was, and then if we go to the text, we can find the answer to this question specifically in paragraph 2. And if we read this, it says, the Industrial Revolution eventually provided ways to open up the interiors of tall towers and put large numbers of people inside. 19th century architects found that they could achieve greatly improved ratios of open floor area to solid construction by using steel and reinforced concrete framing and thin curtain walls. And they could integrate increasingly sophisticated mechanical systems to heat, ventilate, and cool growing amounts of interior space. In the 1870s and 1880s, visionary New York and Chicago architects and engineers brought these elements together to produce the modern skyscraper. So if we go back to our question, it says the passage suggests that an important factor in making skyscrapers possible in the late 1800s was, and if we go through each question, A says innovation in mathematical formulas. As you can see, mathematical formulas were never mentioned, so we can discard that option. B, it says better understanding of the compressive strength of stone and brick. Now this was also not mentioned, and if you go back to your passage, that is actually mentioned in the first sentence speaking about distant forebears. So that was in the past and not in the late 1800s. So we can discard B. C, the availability of improved construction materials and methods. So that one sounds more like our answer, but let's still look at D. The fact that large numbers of people were living in cities. So this is the fact that large amounts of people were living in cities, but that does not mean that that contributed to making skyscrapers possible. So in this case, we chose C, and the reason is, if you can see, the last sentence says in the 1870s and 1880s, so that's pertaining to the late 1800s, and it speaks of architects bringing these elements together. By these elements, they refer to if we read the second sentence saying architects found that they could achieve greatly improved ratios of open floor area to solid construction by using steel and reinforced concrete framing and thin curtain walls, as well as mechanical systems. So if we go to C, it says the availability of improved construction materials and methods. So that sounds more like our answer, which is why we chose C.